what's really fun is being able to put stuff out there that are just content or just ideas and educate people as well. So with that said, I thank you so much for introducing me to Victor. I thank you, Victor, so much for coming and agreeing to be on my podcast with the billions of followers that we have. And it's growing. No, it is. That's when nice things is. I'm like, okay, I keep seeing the numbers go up. So with that said, I would love your take on what you think people who, I'm sure you see this all the time, how people respond to what you have. But before we get into all those and all the questions that I already have, and then I want to talk to Everlayn about what she learned during filming, because that's what's so unique as an actor. You learn so much about characters in this that you sometimes come out of it a little different.
Yeah.
And I'd love her thoughts on that. I can see her nodding her head. You come out of something different when you go into it and you research, like, whoa.
We got stories.
I'm sure you do. So with that, I'm going to do a lot. I'm hoping to do very little talking. I want to hear your background, because I think it's fascinating. And that being said, please tell me, how did you get into this?
Well, first, I want to thank you for this opportunity, Everlayn, for introducing me to you. You can't talk about this subject enough. I agree with you, because I told you about a podcast that I do called Reinforcement with Vic Williams, that all we do is talk about human trafficking. And what I like is Unscripted.
Yes.
We speaking from the heart. And that's what I feel, the energy coming from you. I love it.
Can they get to your podcast from your website here?
Yeah, if you go to questofreedom.org and you scroll down, we've been posting. We haven't really been posting a lot, but there you go. Those are some of them that we've posted online. We hope to do one a month and post out. And it's really about different people that has a lot of information to share in this space from different perspectives, from psychologists, law enforcement, survivors, so it's still, but the whole point is I do what you do. Right. I have people come on and I speak from my heart. There's no letters.
Yeah,
there,
and I think people have gotten smart enough now with content, and especially the young people, they can see what's genuine. You can just, it's kind of like AI. You could sniff out AI still. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm a little scared. We'll see. I've actually been, moving right along.
So my name is Victor Williams. I'm a retired special agent with Homeland Security. My last 8 years as an agent, and we were, as we were setting up everything and talking, I've been working in this kind of like spiritual space. So when Everlayn told me your name was Victor, that was already a connection. And then when you gave me the address, 2 doors down is the office, the Homeland Security home office that I went to for like 20 years. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is getting really strange. So
a lot of coincidence. We're very safe here. As you can tell, my studio's a very safe environment.
Exactly, because I think on the other end of the street is ATF.
Oh, everybody's right here, literally.
So
literally. Okay, sorry.
So those last 8 years of my career, I worked human trafficking, and it changed me as a human being. And I hope that your audience feel my passion for this, because as I worked those cases, there was a pre-human trafficking Victor Williams that did a lot of crazy things out of the culture of being an American, raised, as a male in America, and the stupid things that we used to do. And as an agent, when I started, responding to victims and responding to these cases, I was learning. And I hope the audience get from me that the passion you hear that I have about this is my lived experience. And I always said, if most men understood what I know about this space, we can cut this in half. And so my 8 years, when I retired in 2018, I worked with an organization called Erase Child Trafficking, and we traveled around the country educating law enforcement departments. And then I had this opportunity, like I couldn't turn it down. It was, I did 2 years team security for the Atlanta Hawks. And again, we talked about that, and it was a great experience. I mean, I wouldn't change that for the world, because it even added to my life, but it wasn't feeding my soul. And when I gave them, like I wasn't coming back for a 3rd year, I had planned on moving back to Atlanta, I I got a call from the state of Georgia. They had just got their funding in human trafficking, and for a year I was the human trafficking coordinator for the state of Georgia, which gave me a complete different perspective, and I needed that. I needed that to be able to do what I'm doing now.
Interesting. And but did you grow up down in Florida? Where were what's your?
So I'm originally from Virginia. I'm a country boy, you know.
right.
I'm talking about soul.
I can tell by the way you're dressed in that fabulous suit. I don't know.
This is all Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay, I'm like, hang on a minute there, because I know that's a very nice suit.
I had to change my style when you work for an organization like that. There are people that will laugh you out of the building if you showed up looking like a buster, right? So I had to make some changes. But yeah, I'm from Norfolk. I was born in Norfolk, Virginia. But I grew up in a city called Chesapeake. I'm talking about, I grew up outhouse. I'm talking about country. I had outhouse. You know, we grew vegetables. We went hunting for our food. I had no idea I would be where I am today. Wow. But my life has always been about dreaming and just, you know, following your goals, following your life, and just taking it where it goes. You know, prior to me even becoming a customs or Homeland Security agent, I joined the U.S. Coast Guard. And so, yeah, I'm a vet. So my last duty station was here in Miami, like going to South Beach, the Coast Guard place right there. Yeah. And I chose that because I wanted to get a job with customs, driving go-fast boats, chasing drug smugglers. That came true. I mean, we could talk hours just on that experience alone. And so when I got here, and I got the job, I remember I got here with the Coast Guard, and I was this gun-ho guy, so I automatically qualified. I did whatever paperwork and took the test to show that I qualified to go out on the water and do law enforcement. And one day I saw this beautiful boat. I've heard about it. It was called Blue Thunder. There's a book written about that. And I had heard about it in Virginia, but never seen it. So I'm out on this little Coast Guard boat, and I see this beautiful boat coming at me, and there's one guy driving it. And I go, man, look at that boat. And the guy said, oh, that's Blue Thunder. He goes, you want a ride? So he gave me a ride on the boat. And this was like back in the early 90s, and they had an offshore boat race. And this boat was leading all these go-fast boats out of government cut to run the race. And I'm on this boat, and I'm like, oh, my God, this can't be true. And just cut the story short, all I remember is when the guy dropped me off back on the Coast Guard boat, and he went away, I said to myself, I want to be that guy. And in 2 years, not only had I got the job with Customs and gone through all the trainings, the academy, that boat was assigned to me. And we used to throw the boat on a trailer and go around schools. And this is when you had to say no to drugs. You had the DARE program. And we used to go to schools, say no to drugs. And I used to throw the boat on a trailer, talk to kids, say no to drugs. But I always left them with this: the dream comes true. Because I don't remember really working that hard. I just followed that dream and that path, and the dream came true. I kind of have a chill, as you just said, with the coincidences right now. I moved, I'm about to blow your mind now. Because so sitting behind me, I'm sitting in the studio is a bunch of hard drives. For many, many years, I have been doing, and you wouldn't probably know this, but I'll share with you, I'm one of the well-known videographers for all the offshore race boats. Oh, wow. I filmed a lot of the races. I put a lot of the shows and all that, but I've been doing for 15 years a documentary on the history of the offshore boats. I'm the only one that is, my son and I years ago flew up and met with Michael Arno, Don Arno, who built the boat that you rode in. And I have pictures of that boat. And I have the backstory from Michael Arno talking about his dad in a whole show that I had. This world just went. Yeah. I know the history of that boat so well. Wow. And Mike and Don Arno, who was killed, and a whole story, and Miami Vice, and the whole. So that is so crazy that you were on the. This is you can't make it. Like we said, it's just real. This is real.